Hi there, everyone. I am Stacey McCormick, the Executive Vice President of Retail Performance here at Broad River Retail, and I'm here with another episode of Stories from the River. I am super excited to introduce to you guys and to celebrate Mike Cohen, our first $2 million memory maker of 2025. It's the fifth person to ever do it, and it's the sixth time it's been done. Welcome to the pod, Mike.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited to be here.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Hey guys, I want to introduce to you Mike Cohen. Mike, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Awesome. As you know, one of the reasons why Mike is here, the only reason why Mike is here, is he is the first $2 million memory maker for Broad River Retail in 2025. By the way, let me give you a couple of stats here. It's only the sixth time that it's ever been done in our 22 year history, and he is the fifth individual to do it. So it's very impressive. And Mike, I'm super excited to spend this time with you, man. Let's get started. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited.
All right, man. So Mike, tell me about yourself. Tell me about who you are, where you're from. I know everybody kind of want to get to know you a little bit.
Yeah, sure. So from New Jersey originally. I actually had my first furniture experience when I was in college. I worked as a part-time job, only about 25 hours a week. And I was on some sort of like half commission, half hourly little plan. But it was great because it was really low stress. And it gave me a chance to just kind of dive into furniture. I randomly just came home from college my sophomore year and was like, I kind of want to sell furniture. And I don't know. I just remember like walking around. Actually, the origins of it is from when I was in high school. I used to work at an Olive Garden that was right next to a Raymore and Flanagan, which is like a chain in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And on my lunch breaks, I used to just walk around there. I didn't know I was killing their count at the time, but I would just walk around their store and steal their little mini water bottles and hang out on the recliners and the Tempur-Pedics. And I just kind of like started to fall in love with the vibe and like the idea of like, this seems like a really like chill job, like to sell furniture.
Look, most of us didn't dream of selling furniture and mattresses and accessories when we were in the second grade. So you had something though that kind of helped you fall in love with it, and you fell in love with it. So Mike, let me ask you another question real quick. What did you want to do?
When I was very little, I wanted to be like an entomologist, like a bug scientist. And then as I got older, I was really, really interested in like film, actually, screenwriting specifically.
Okay.
And I was a little bit worried on how that was going to pay. I was a film minor in college and an English major. And then at one point, lawyer. I took my LSATs. Didn't do incredibly well. I did good enough to get into a couple like mid-tier law schools, but just decided that law wasn't for me. I could just never deal with all the paperwork.
I got you. Awesome. That's awesome. But it's fair to say you probably didn't grow up wanting to sell furniture and mattresses, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So take me back. You're at Olive Garden. You're taking your lunch. You walk in Raymore and Flanagan. You decide in college I got to have a job. I'm going to go apply at a furniture store and go part-time and see if they'll allow me to sell. Did you ever imagine that you would be able to, sell $2 million in a year? And did you ever, I guess that's the first question. Did you ever imagine that you would reach a point and this would become your career and you'd sell over $2 million at one point?
I honestly had no idea. I remember when I first started with this company, when I first got interviewed, I was sold this like dream that like I'm going to make more money than all my friends with their fancy business degrees, and that like this company is incredible, and that like the flexibility, the earnings potential, like the environment, like they interviewed me on July 4th weekend. It was like perfect. It was so busy. It was like I walked in, and when I was in college, I worked at an outlet. So like I was not used to seeing price tags that I was seeing when I walked into this. Like the most expensive thing in the store was like $2,000. And I was walking past like $5,000 reclining sectionals. I was like, whoa, what is this place? Like,
yeah,
I had no idea. But yeah, I was really just like sold the dream. And it didn't happen overnight. Like, I mean, I spent like really 2 years just kind of like continuing to develop my craft. And I was not writing $2 million. My first full year with the company, I did like 1.1 million. And it was a grind it out 1.1 million. It was not like, I was coming early and leaving late and working really hard. But I had a feeling that I could do it. Like at the start of this year, I kind of set that out as a goal for myself. I saw kind of how I was able to perform in the last 6 months of 2024 and happy to have hit that, but I would say it didn't truly come to fruition until the start of this year.
Yeah. So now you're here, you're writing $2 million. You're going to make a really good amount of money, probably over $200,000 with your commissions and your jackpot bonuses, or right close to it, right? Maybe, a lot. What does that mean to you, man?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, like, I'm super, super blessed to be able to, like, make a salary like that. I did not expect that to be a possibility this early in my life. I mean, I just turned 26. I thought that my career progression was going to take a whole lot longer before I heard numbers like that as, like, an income that I could make. So super blessed. But more than the money, I just appreciate, like, just the experiences and how much I've grown as a person while writing this 2 million. I've felt myself like age so much. I've gotten so much more like mature, and in just my general outlook and my ability to just help customers and people, like to hear them out, the guests, and to truly just like listen to what they need and not just try and sell to put up numbers. Like I never think of like this job as like, I'm trying to sell this customer. I only think like I'm just trying to help them furnish their house. Like I'm just here as like a middleman.
Yeah, you're furnishing life's best memories, right?
That's it.
So, well, the thing of it is, the beauty of this job, and a lot of people don't understand it, is sales isn't about really the art of it. There's an art to it for sure, but it's usually not the people who are just focused on selling that are the ones that really succeed. It's the ones that are focused on their customers and focused on the need and focused on the wants or the desires and helping people. And so I love that you said that, because, by the way, all of the folks that are really, really successful for us, that's what they do. They connect with people, and that's how that happens. So been $1 million memory maker every year full year you've been here. You started, though, at the Durham Southpoint store. Mm-hmm. And you talked about how you were grinding it out, and I know that experience probably is the foundation for why you have been able to do what you've been able to do. But talk to me about that a little bit. Like, I know there were times during that year that you were like, oh my gosh, because we were struggling as an organization with culture in that store and having people believe that they could be successful. And having things happen that needed to happen to be successful. And as an organization, we were struggling to find leadership for that store. So kind of talk to me about what you learned about Mike and what you learned about the company and what you learned about, the career from going through the experience of starting at Southpoint and really grinding it out. And by the way, one of the only $1 million memory makers we ever had. I think you were the second that ever happened in that store. So congratulations on that. But talk to me about that. Talk to me about that experience and what kind of impact that's had on you and how that's been a central part of your story.
Yeah, I would love to touch on that. Southpoint, honestly, as much as there were all these like misconceptions about the culture, I loved the store from the start. Like at the time, there were some amazing sales managers. One who's not with the company anymore, but they taught me a lot. I really just learned on the fly. I was on the floor pretty quickly because they were really short staffed and they knew I had a little bit of experience from college. And being in that store, seeing so much different leadership, honestly, I just got to see so many different like mentalities, like from the GMs that I had. Like some were like super laid back. They kind of like taught me a little bit how to like be very chill and like how to embrace when like it's not busy and to like be calling your guests and go through open to buy sheets and just like keep yourself occupied. And then I had certain GMs that that were only there a few months that were like Wolf of Wall Street, banging on their chest, like let's go get it every Saturday. Like really like, it feels like I never had Saturday meetings that intense. Like we would like play like rocky walkout music and it was just like, I felt all these different like vibes from all these different GMs that were honestly, they were great people. And like, I know a lot of them, I keep in touch with a few that are still doing really well just with other companies now. But Southpoint was incredibly transformative. I feel like I just went through like, it feels like I was there for 10 years, even though I was only there for 2. Because I got to just like see and feel out so many different like little mini cultures throughout like the segments that I was there.
During that time, I mean, I think you and Larry are the consistent folks that were there. And yeah, we have had great people, even the ones that didn't work out or the folks that left or whatever. Like I always felt like, you know, we had a great store. We just needed some consistency there. And we started to establish that. It's been really, really good. They're having some success. But I also knew that time, you coming in, learning about Broad River, understanding what it was all about, you know, was super important to who you've become and how you was able to build your confidence and go forward. So you become $1 million memory maker for the first time. What did that mean to you?
That was a little bit intimidating when I first went to the gala. After doing my like 1.1, I didn't know anyone. I was really proud of myself that I did it. I just remember when I hit it, it was like right around the time that I hit 2 million now. But
yeah.
When I first hit it, it was like a huge moment in my career. My whole family celebrated it a lot. But I just remember being at that gala and being like nervous. Like, who are all these people? Like, these people are they were doing speeches that wrote like $2 million. And it was just like, I was just sitting there in my like cheap suit, just like, I don't know what's going on. But it's crazy to see the transformation, you know, 1.1 that year. And then last year doing like 1.5 or 1.6 and just kind of knowing who some of these people are, like starting to shake some more hands. And then obviously this year at the gala, it's going to be a blast, you know.
Well, dude, they all know who you are.
Yeah, at this point, I know who most people are.
You're furniture famous now, especially in the Broad River circles. You know, success brings with it a lot of things, right? And some of it is some fame, and even though it's inside of our circle, you know, look, there's people who are looked up to in this organization, and I think you've become one of those because of what you've done. But it's also opened some opportunities up for you to kind of talk about how you do it and what it is that you bring to the table. You know, I know that we had you on a Saturday morning call with all of our leadership before our Showtime Saturday. It's our Showtime Saturday call, and you know, you were interviewed. How was that experience? What did you think about that?
That was a really cool experience to be able to like kind of just share some insights into like my sort of unique perspective towards selling furniture. And yeah, to that point, I mean, I really just try and connect with people on like the most like basic personal level that I can and try and just take the salesness out of the experience. I sort of transform the C4 greet, and I don't do it in the exact order that it's taught like in C4, but I always make sure to hit on all the points just in like a smooth sort of way. And that took me so long to implement. Like when you first start, like you should literally be reading C4 like from a booklet.
It's actually kind of intimidating itself, isn't it? Because it seems robotic because you're trying to remember everything versus just kind of letting it flow, right? Like now you've reached a point where you're letting it flow and you get the points, but you get it in a way that gets through the flow. But to begin with, yeah, I mean, you got to follow the process, but that can be intimidating as well, can't it?
Oh, it definitely can. And I think that like a lot of people want to skip to the point where I'm at now and they want to just like find this like flow with the way they do their C4. And look, I can still improve mine. Next year, I know that I'm going to be asking come with me a lot more. I have a big concentration to go for VIP. Some of these like people getting these crazy VIP bonuses, I'm looking up like, oh my God.
Yeah. Tiffany Hare's about to get 50,000 just from that, right?
I know and I'm proud of her and everything she's done. Shout out to her for
absolutely
success.
No doubt.
She's incredible. But
good.
Developed that C4 just creating my own C4 process and just working on it all the time. I think it's so important for like new people that start with this company that like you do kind of just follow the script until you're able to like consistently say all those points, and then from there mold it with your personality.
All right, good stuff. When I talk about Broad River Retail, and you came to work for the company 3 years ago, what do you think about our company? I happen to be a little bit biased. I think it's great, but what do you think about the company?
It's been incredible. I mean, having these two different like phases and chapters of Broad River for me, of like the Durham chapter of being there for about 2 years and just sort of like learning so much more about myself. And now since I've been to Cary, like I feel extremely involved with this company, and it makes me like, I want the company to win. Like I want my store to win in a way that like I didn't expect to have this sort of like loyalty to a company, especially this young. Like I really am like, I'm always checking like company metrics, like other stores, like, and I love that like we're such a tight-knit community like that. It feels like inherently we really want everyone to win. There's nothing like, there's no extra bonus that Cary gets for being the only store that wins. Like we want, it's better when everybody's winning. And it really is just such a great culture.
Yeah.
As a whole.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Well, when we talk about you're winning in the team there at Cary, so I think I got a couple of questions. I think the first thing I would say is like, what do you think is the difference between $2 million mic and $1 million mic? Like what changed for you? What clicked for you? Where was it that you said, okay, I can go do this?
Yeah, I mean, a huge change was the people around me. So as much as I always tried to like foster a great hardworking like mindset when I was in Durham, when I came to Cary and I was around like people that really hustled, like veterans with the company that truly know what they're doing, and they don't treat this like some side job before they get to their next job. For them, like this is a career, and they've had this as a career for a while. And when I got around a lot of people like that, I started looking at this job differently. Like I stopped wearing dingy t-shirts to work and like bought myself a couple sweaters and like, a couple new pairs of shoes, and tried to keep myself a little bit more uptight and presentable, because furniture's fashion, right? As you say.
That's it.
I became more of a professional.
Okay.
I would say the difference between 1 and 2 million, I've always been pretty good at selling furniture. It's always something that I've actually really enjoyed, which I know is rare and weird that somebody actually likes doing it, but I think it's fun. I've always had fun doing it, but the professionalism took me to the next level.
Yeah, man, I've always said, I've been doing this 39 years, and I'm like you, it kind of got in my blood, but look, it ought to be against the law to make this much money and have this much fun, right? So I really and truly enjoy what I do, and it sounds like you do too. And most people who succeed at a level that you've succeeded at, Mike, they do enjoy it, right? They do find joy in doing that. So with the team there at Cary, and you're right, like it's a group of 6, 7, 8, 9 individuals in there that don't show up to just do okay. They show up to be the very best that they can be, and they treat their business like a business instead of just kind of waiting to see what might happen. And we've got a lot of people, a lot of memory makers all over our organization who show up that same way every day. But it's rare to have like top to bottom. Like the bottom is $1 million rider, right? Like that's a rarity. But the how has the team been? Sometimes that team dynamic can be crazy, and there's jealousy, and there's a little bit of infighting here and there. How have you found the team to be as you've been running this down and having so much success?
Incredibly supportive. It's insane how supportive this team is. Like you would think in like other sales environments, like the guy who's like the top dog or like doing really great on the year is like, going to get a lot of crap, and like people are going to be like trying to take shots at him and like, oh, he doesn't need more. Like he's just piling it on this month. He's already at 200K and he's like complaining that he's not at 250 yet. But like this team is just like so, honestly, like this entire team is so relentless in their pursuit of just like greatness and to just like maximize this job and opportunity. And no one walks into this store and like sits in a chair and like sulks their head down. Like there's just like excellence that is expected. Like if you come into work, like you're expected to like give like the premier guest experience. If you're not up to that, like you shouldn't come in. Like that's that's sort of the mentality that when I first came to Cary, I was so, oh my God, talk about intimidated. Like, I remember they were like, I went up to, he's no longer here, but the sales manager at the time, and he was like, Cary, now you're playing for the Yankees. He's like, you better be ready. Like, and
Yeah.
it was a random Tuesday, and it happened to just be a ridiculously busy day. And I was like, is this what Cary's going to be like? I was like, oh God, I don't know if I could handle this. Like,
Yeah.
but the team has really embraced me, and it's crazy to have gone from the new guy to now like one of the veterans with them.
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, that team is definitely a group of professionals. We're super fortunate to have all of them. But it didn't surprise me that you said they were all pulling for you. But I can tell you another thing about that group. If somebody joins and they don't do that, that becomes a tough situation, and they don't like for folks to take customers and not work them as hard as they can and try to do the best
It
they
hurts
can
our
for them.
soul. Like,
Yeah,
just
that's
to
it.
see like
That's it. They
someone
don't play when it comes to that.
retreat,
So,
and like, it hurts. Like,
yeah, that's awesome. So when I think about your time here and I see your growth, it's been really, really good because I can remember coming in not long after you started and spending a little time with you and having some conversations with you. And, I always thought that you were super talented. You were very engaging. You're a nice guy. One thing I know about you, too, you're a big basketball fan. You love the NBA. So, what do you love about the NBA this year? What are you interested in now? Because I know you have a team, but I also know you like just the game in general.
Yeah, I mean, just excited to kind of see who becomes the new face of the NBA. As we're going through this kind of phasing out of the old stars, Curry and LeBron and Kevin Durant, they're all aging. So it's curious to see kind of who takes the throne and if the Thunder become a dynasty.
Yeah.
A lot to be excited about, and me and all three of my brothers are constantly, doing our own little podcast every day talking about it.
I love it. Hey, what about Wemby? That guy's next level, isn't he?
He's incredible. Yeah,
To be that big and be that smooth and have that level of skill is
it's unreal. If he could stay on the court,
insane.
he's going to break records.
That's it. When you cross $1 million here at Broad River Retail, you generally get contacted by a few individuals. What was it like to get those phone calls the first time, from Charlie and from whoever else called and said congratulations?
You just feel like appreciated. Like, you feel like you're not just like a cog in like a corporation. Like, you're a person that they see and they like appreciate your success, and they know as they're making that phone call that they're paying out a bonus as soon as they pick up that phone. But I mean, they're so happy to do it every time. And like, I think it's a big differentiator. Like, other furniture companies just don't have these jackpot bonuses and programs, and it just drives people to work so much harder. I mean, to have like, you guys even you put a $3 million bonus on the sheet this year, and I mean, is that possible to get? I mean,
there's people in other companies doing it,
but you never know. I mean, like, if you put it up,
there's $3 million there. You do it next year, that $100,000 bonus.
I know. I mean,
sweet,
like,
right?
There's like a psychological like aspect to that. Like, putting what seems like 600 apps, you put that crazy lofty goal on there, and look at Tiffany. She just went and did it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, I mean, I think that the jackpot program and like the way that this company celebrates success is truly a differentiator in the industry.
Love it. And then I didn't ask you this, and I should have. How exciting was it to cross $2 million? Because we talked about how exciting it was for you to cross $1 million and how fired up you got about that. Like, how rewarding and how exciting was that?
It was incredibly relieving. I felt like just a year of hard work, just like some peace just come over me. Like, after like just, it's the last like 20K was impossible, but like finally I got like the perfect return customer, and I was able to cross on like a really, really slow day. I was coming into my days off. I was just trying to get it. But once I hit it, I really just felt like a lot of relief and, self-validation.
Well, dude, I can tell you I hope you felt the love, because everybody in this organization was celebrating you. They're fired up for you. They all, the team, if they've been around you, they love you. You're a great guy. and they all love you, and they're all like fired up. All of our managers, all of our sales managers, all of our other memory makers, like they were just like go. And even this morning on the town hall, you know, we celebrated you, and you know, I hope you felt the love, because I know you've worked your tail off to get there, and dude, you're one of the good ones, and I'm just super excited to be able to see you accomplish it.
Thank you,
everybody. This has been an episode of Stories from the River with Mike Cohen, our first $2 million memory maker of 2025. Great job, Mike. Glad to have you here. And we thank you for watching and being here with us on Stories from the River. Remember, you can get Stories from the River where you get your normal podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast normally. You can get it here with us. We come to you 2 times a week with fresh new content. And great content like this guy right here. And look, Mike, here's the $3 million next year. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time on Stories from the River.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.